Well, now, how to start from zero to reach? First of all, let me answer this question. Is it even possible? Yes, it is possible to actually do exactly that. I am getting a lot of DMs from you guys. There is a video I said, if you are in university, if you are actually graduated, or if you're down there, life is really knocking you, right and left and center and what have you. You don't even know where to pick yourself from. There is always those times in life, somebody's life, maybe it happened or maybe it's happening, that you find like you're at the ground level. They have like you have nothing. Now you ask yourself, how can I then pick myself from where I am and uplift myself to the next level and be able to achieve the greatness? But there is something I will tell you before even start talking about this video. If maybe say financially you're down, never let anything mentally tell you that you're down. Never ever give up. All right. Now that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. How do you start from zero and get yourself to the next level? Okay. The only thing that I would like from you, okay, is to just like the video and make sure that you comment on the comment section and you subscribe. Those three things, and does not cost you anything. It's free of charge. Let's get into business now. How do you get yourself from zero? Let me just put it in zero in quote form, okay? And you take yourself to reach. The other point is this: what is reach? What is it? Because my reach is not your reach. So what is reach? Or what is your financial freedom? Now, how do you get yourself from zero? I'm putting in this what do we call them? Whatever the thing it is, okay? Those quotation marks and what have you. See, what is zero? How do you pick yourself from this situation? Zero to you, it may mean you're not having that what you would like to have. Because generally, I don't believe there is a situation where you can have the zero. You can say you have the zero with regard to finances. It's true. You can have none when you don't have the finances. Then it means you have zero. But there is something else you can have. You have time, okay? You have time. If you have time, then does not mean necessarily you have zero. Then when you say you have zero, maybe you're referring to the financial thing. Now, when you say I'm at a zero, for example, say you're a fresh graduate, you've actually tried to work from one company to the other to look for a job, because looking for a job when you're starting, there is nothing wrong with it. I said, for you to lead, you must follow first. That's the reality. You have to learn. In the process of you following, in simple terms, you're saying you're learning. For when actually you assume the leadership, you'll be able to know, hey, this is how I was led and it was successful leading. Then this is how exactly I can lead people. Therefore, that it means when you have zero, you're looking for a job, you're not getting any. Probably you have to figure out, is it because of my qualification are not the one that I'm able to secure me a job? Or I have the best qualification, but there are no opportunities out there. If there are no opportunities, then you create the opportunities. Then how do you create the opportunities? Remember one thing, we are co-creators with God. What does it mean? It means we have the abilities to bring things forth. And that's why when God didn't give us chairs, he had the chairs in trees. He didn't give us that. Okay? So you have to think, how can I come up with a chair from a tree? You need to think. You cannot eradicate the aspect of thinking. And nowadays, most of the people, they just want to shut the thinking, the creative part, to just get something sort of, they're kind of entitled or something. So what you do is that you ask yourself, for example, this is what I did. I graduated, there were no jobs, they were limited, I didn't get any opportunity. Then I ask myself, what exactly can I do? Therefore, if this plan A that I'm having is not working, then I have to sort of not drop it, but put it aside, be like, okay, fine, I can check it out later, but let me use what I'm having right now. What I did, I checked around and asked myself, who do I know? Whom do I relate with each and every day? Again, who you relate with matters a lot. If you're relating with people who are suffering as you, who are complaining as you, who are on the same state as you, you're not going to help people, or you're going to help yourself in any way. So I looked at the people and I was like, we have some guys who didn't manage to go to university like I did, but they are working here and there. They were into electricity, they were into masonry, they were into painting, they were into interior design, they were into logistics, they were into... So I was like, okay, among all things there that they are doing, which one can I pick for now? It's not complicated to learn and I can be able to get something at the end of the day. Then I was like, fine, I can get into the interior design. So I looked around, I realized they can pick this individual. So I picked an individual in the process of me working with them for them to cater for my basic bills. Why? When you actually operating from zero, even the basics, you cannot be able to cater them. You cannot be able to cater for the basics when we say about the food, the shelter, and the clothing. These are the basic things. Okay, there is a process, there is a system that you have to follow. If you want to go into the rich is always an excess of the basics. That's what you're supposed to understand. Riches is always an excess of the basics. When you achieve the basics and you have the excess, it's like you can achieve the basics multiple times. We say you have the surplus, you have the excess. How then do you make the excess of the basics? You get yourself into the rich by actually accessing the basics. How do you access? You see, there is no way you can be thinking about Ferrari, but you do not have the food. That way we say you are living in fantasy world. You have to make sure, well, you're thinking, guys, about the Ferrari. It's true, there is nothing wrong, but for now, I need to make sure that I have a dinner at the evening. How do I solve the today's dinner at the evening? I have to show up to a place where I can work. It might not be the place that I love, but I'm going to get some few coins that I can be able to buy dinner for myself and move to the next level. So when you tick the problem, the big dinner, you tick the problem of the shelter, and you tick the problem of the clothing, at least you are a human being standing. You can dress, you can eat, and you can as well do what? You have the food. You have the food, you can dress, and you have a place where you can call a home, okay? It may not be the best place, but as a human being, you are standing. At that particular point, you have the refreshment of the mind. Now, kicking in the ideas of the Ferraris and what have you, now you can be able to do that. So when you achieve these basics, you go to the next level. Remember one thing, riches, it's a process. It's a process. It's never an event. It's a process. It's a thing that you have to take a little bit of time. Now you have achieved the basics. Now, how you achieve, after achieving the basics, you go to the next level. This is what we call the self-improvement. The self-improvement. Okay, and I'm going to use a very simple example. Let's say you pick a thing that you'll be working for. Maybe you're paid 500 Kenyan shillings each and every day. This is like $5, okay? This is like $5. This 500 Kenyan shilling, this is 15,000 at the end of the month. 15,000 at the end of the month, you set aside like 3,500 for your rent. So you set aside like 4,000 for your food. You set like 2,000 for your clothing. And then maybe let's say you can be able to salvage 2,500 for your savings. Okay, now you go to the self-improvement. Self-improvement is currently I'm getting 500 a day or 15,000 a month, and I'm able to save this 2,500 each and every month. And this money, I totally know and understand, may not be able to buy me the Ferrari, but how can I use this money? Two options. Either, what can I do to pump in money with what I'm doing so that I can be able to push this number from 500 all the way, maybe let's say to 700 or to 1,000. If you realize it's not working, okay? Then you can be like, okay, fine. What extra can I do with this 2,500 each and every month that can be able to upgrade me to the next level? You can go ahead and maybe go to somewhere like Course Hero. You can go to like Skillshare. You can go to YouTube for free. You can learn a skill. You can be able to do what? During the day, you're working from whatever the place that you're working. And at the evening, you can be able to solve some simple programming problems, some web design problems, some coding somewhere problem. You can actually get yourself some social media where you can talk about 1, 2, 3. You can get to the inbox of the content creators on the basis of the social media management. You can actually decide. In simple terms, I'm trying to say this, yeah? When you have nothing, when you do not have the skills to trade, maybe let's say the skills that you got from the university, it's the only skills that you have, and you're not getting a job or a gig from it. You put that on aside. Then you start from zero, okay? We say you drop those papers and you do hustle like a dropout. And then you look around with people whom you can relate with so that you can get a gig. No matter how small it is, for you to cater for the basics. Once you cater for the basics, try to see what you can salvage from that, what you're getting from the basics. Now, once you salvage that, then you can get into the value addition, acquisition of the skills. And they can be skills that you can actually trade them at a higher amount. For example, you can decide, guess what? I'm going to go ahead and learn skills like editing. I'm going to learn skills about transcription. I'm going to learn skills about copywriting, annotations. I'm going to learn skills about, guess what? I can decide to go and book a session at the evening. There's a place where I know they usually teach about catering and baking cake and maybe making cakes and all toppings and what have you. You can actually go and decide and organize for a session. And you say, guess what? I'm actually busy during the day, but I can show up to this place. I just want you just negotiate yourself. You go to the place and tell them, I just want to know how to cook a cake, how to prepare some chapatis, how to prepare this. And then after that process, then after knowing how to prepare those chapatis, or if you don't know, I'm just using chapatis as an example. And then you can be able to bake all this 1, 2, 3, baking some cakes, the ice cream and what have you. And then you can go ahead and start saving this amount of money. Maybe let's say you want to be selling those things at the roadside. That roadside selling of things, maybe it will cost you like 10,000 or 15,000. Depends on there. Maybe you want to buy that trolley, you want to buy that thing. So you save this amount of money. Remember, you have the skills and you have what we call the pleasantly disposed. Then from that particular point, you can be selling those eggs, those mochas, those whatever. And that case regard, you can actually uplift this number from 500, let's say, to 800 or to 900. With that case regard, then it means you are saving 2,000. You're no longer saving 2,000. You can actually be able to save 4,000, not 4,000, maybe 3,000 or 3,500. Therefore, it means if you took 1 year to raise an X amount of money, then it will take you less than 1 year to raise the similar X amount of money. Or it can take you the similar amount of year to raise maybe X plus 1 amount of the money. That way, you're actually uplifting yourself to the next level. And I always tell people, you control the controllables. You see, when you do not have the finances, when you do not have the money, you trade the time, you trade the skills, you trade your value, you trade your energy to get some cash at the end of the day. And if you do not have, you cannot tell me you don't have the time, you cannot tell me you don't have the, for example, that energy that you're taking to hang around with some guys somewhere, you know, gossiping, you know, watching those games and footballs and nothing, you're not even, you know, adding any value, taking those drugs and what have you, just because you just want to caution yourself, you don't want to see the reality and what have you. So those are not value adding actions that you're taking. Go ahead and focus on the things that can be. For example, I remember when I realized that I do not have multiple of the options where I can be able to pick, I decided during the lunch hour, I could actually make sure that I've been given 1 hour for the lunch. I rush to take my lunch immediately. That will take me like 20 minutes or thereabout. I show up to just a place where it's a bit quiet. I record my videos or a video or something of sort. Maybe that will cost me like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something. I edit the video, simple editing. I upload the video by the time now, and then I remain with like another 20 minutes or 15 minutes to just relax, make sure that that video has rendered and I've uploaded that video. Sometimes I could even upload that video as raw as it is into that social media account of mine, and I'm good to go. That way you're able to be like, okay, fine, this is not paying me for now, but one day it will surely pay me and you'll actually move to the next level. See, you're actually knowing one thing: whatever I'm doing right now, this ain't gonna solve all my problems, but this is also not still solving my problems. But if I can be able to push this one, push it along the way, and at the same time be able to do this so that I can be able to cater for my basics, because I've told you the riches is the excess of the basics. It's true. Is the excess of the basics, because there is no way you can tell me you are rich and you have not achieved the basics. So you achieve the basics, and excess of those basics is what we term them as the riches. All right? I hope you've gotten the point. Let me just recap exactly what I've just said. You have nothing, okay, in terms of finances. Look around from the people who you hang around with. Take a thing that you can be able to learn or do with them, and they can be able to pay you. Because when you have nothing, on a very serious note, I wouldn't advise you to go and, unless they're catering for the basics, I wouldn't advise you go work for, we call them the free thing or something. You know, you just go somewhere, you work for free, unless they cater for your basics, the food, the shelter, the clothing. All right, or you have somebody at least to cater for you. Assuming that you have nobody whom you can look for, it's not really a good idea to go and look for a thing that you can be able to do that, what we call like sort of a donation. I'm lacking the correct word to. It's where you work, they do not, you know, it's where you work but they don't pay you and don't cater for your basic things and what have you. For that case regard, I would advise you go for somewhere at least where you're getting a stipend. It's not really a payment, but a stipend to keep you going, to keep you moving and such. Immediately after you get that cash, you move, upgrade yourself to the next level, get the skills, look at how you can be able to do to upgrade what you're doing and how much you're getting, and then push yourself to the next level. Slowly, with the time, you can be able to get yourself in a situation whereby you're earning something and you can grow yourself to the next level. You know what? That is my idea, and exactly you would like to tell me, did you get something out of the video? And would you like me to make more of this so that I explain to you, or maybe go into the details of more than what I have just done? Put it on the comment section. In short, I'm telling you this. Let this video be an interactive one. Comment on the comment section. Tell me if you gained something. And by the way, let me take this opportunity to always say thank you for turning out to watch my videos and liking the videos and also subscribing. It means world to me, and you're great people, and it's because of you this channel is where it is right now. All right? And if you'd like to have a conversation with me, you can always pick that number of mine from the description of this specific video. Let's talk business and move to the next level. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.